High on life. Is it worth a buy? Let's read the words on Steam. From the mind of Justin Roiland comes High on Life. Humanity is being threatened by an alien cartel who want to use them as drugs. It's up to you to rescue and partner with charismatic talking guns and take down Gamanchu and his gang and save the world. First up, guys, let's have a look at the graphical options. There's a few you can twiddle and tweak with to get the game running the way you want it on your rig. There isn't the most important setting though, a freaking FOV slider. I mean, why not? The FOV is hideous. It's just crap. I hear there's a mod that you can get that will allow you to, but this is a £45 game. It should have a FOV slider. But you can rebind your keys. So the good news is you can rebind your keys. It doesn't unbind the ones that you had previous to that, but you can actually rebind your keys. So if you don't like dodge the way it is on the control, then just rebind it to something else. And every time you press control, it'll still dodge. If you don't like the scanner on T, that's fine. Rebind T to something else. But every time you press T, it'll still put your scanner on. Absolute joke. £46, guys. £46. And they can't even be arsed to allow you to rebind your keys. Anyway, on to the game, guys. The game is hilariously funny. It's just, honestly, guys, I've never laughed so much in my life. There's jokes like, hey, you, go f*** yourself. Who, me? Yeah, you, go f*** yourself. How about you go f*** yourself? No, you f*** yourself. I'll f*** yourself, you f***. Yeah. Hilarious, guys. Absolutely. Very intelligent jokes. Very well thought out. Yeah, it had me rolling around the floor, laughing my ass off. Actually, yeah, of course, that's sarcasm. I haven't laughed at a single... I don't find any of this funny at all. It's just not my humour. And look, if you like this kind of stuff, that's fine. I mean, you know, I'm not knocking you for liking this kind of humour. I'm just saying that it's kind of like bottom drawer, basement, toilet humour. I like stuff that's a little bit more thought out and intelligent humour. This is just... Well, this is it. Watch.
Fuck you! Hey, both of you! Shut the fuck up! I'm gonna fucking kill you, shithead! Move your fucking car! Nah, I'm gonna kill you! Fuck you! Move, asshole, eh? Hey, fuck your mother! What kind of drivers are you? Just figure it out! I'll beat your fucking ass! What kind of inconvenience is this? Don't make me fucking get my brass fucking knuckles!
Let's just divide the game into two halves. You've got the game, which is actually just a cartoon series, because there's so much cutscene, so much dialogue. I even switched the dialogue off and still got fucking dialogue. There's even movies that you can watch, real movies that you can watch that's in the game, which is quite a nice touch. It looked quite cool. But there were really bad movies when they came out anyway, so why would you want to watch them? Well, you wouldn't really, would you? So that's pretty wasted as well. So you've got two things. You've got the first-person shooter, and then you've got this comedy kind of thing going on, which you can just sit and watch, which I think is why it's getting high reviews, because that appeals to Rick and Morty fans, which is fine, so there's that. But what if you're not a Rick and Morty fan? What if you're a first-person shooter fan? What's that like? So let's strip away all the Rick and Morty stuff and look at the game as an actual game. It's fucking tragic, guys. It's absolute garbage. You get, I mean, I had the first gun for an hour and a half, a fucking pistol. A talking, annoying pistol, but a fucking pistol that did nothing fun at all. It was just a boring ass fucking gun. Shooting boring ass fucking monsters. Hardly any variation in them as well. Didn't matter where I go, the same fucking shite would show up and I'd just shoot them. Then a stupid, awful boss fight. The hardest part about the boss fight was actually not getting drowned in gloop as the level kept rising and falling randomly. That was a bad boss fight.
Shit, she's filling the place with sludge! Stay in the air! Fuck, look at you! You better find some help quick and still use me if you want.
The second boss fight was this guy who's a miner and goes underground and mines and pops up everywhere. That was just as bad, if not worse, of a boss fight. By then I think I had a better gun. No, I didn't. I had the knife. The stabby knife. I still had the same fucking pop gun that I had, and that crashed. Well, it didn't crash. It glitched out. The boss went AFK, guys. He just f***ed off. I had him down to nearly killed, and he just says, "Nah, I'm off," and just went and hid under the floor somewhere and never came back out. So I had to restart that one from a checkpoint, and then I beat him, and then I got on to a new gun, which was a shotgun. The both all the guns have like an alternate fire. The pistol has this gloop grenade that you can fire, and the shotgun has this kind of razor blade a razor saw rather, that it fires at red pieces of rock, only red pieces of rock, guys, and then you can jump onto that to get the secrets. Both guns are shit. All the enemies that you get later on are shit. These little fucking critters that bury around the ground and jump out and you just shoot them in the face. Absolutely garbage. Absolute trash as a first-person shooter. The gunplay is hideous. The sounds is crap. The whole game is boring as fuck. I mean, you jump around you've got this grappling hook and there's little flies, and you jump onto them and you can get across to different places. There's a scanner that tells you where to go, so there's no exploration as such. It's just, you go there, and so you just go around. It's just bottom-wipingly bad as a first-person shooter. I mean, it wouldn't be too bad if the guns just had a bit of oomph, but they've got nothing. That just feel so dead, even, which is ironic because they're fucking alive in the game. But they feel dead when you fire at them. It's just trash as a first-person shooter. Now, the game itself is kind of advertised as a comedy adventure, but if you don't like the comedy of it, then there's literally nothing here for you at all. I mean, I found it a bit repetitive in the comedy. You know, this running joke about me sisters, me mother, and constant jokes about having your family killed. I mean, I ran into that tons of times. Like, you shoot this kid and then the mother confronts you over it and she's not really that bothered. And then you come across two guards who are saying, "Do you miss your family?" And he says, "Oh no, I murdered all mine before I came out here, so I don't miss them." And he says, "Oh, I should have done that. I should have murdered my family." It's all about stuff like that. It's not really funny, you know, and it just repeats over and over and over. And it's full of padding as well. Stuff that just, it feels like there's not much of a game there, and so they've had to kind of slow you down with mundane bullshit. I mean, for example, you can't just walk away from half of the conversations because you're routed to the spot and you have these multiple choice answers. I mean, you don't have to answer them all, but you're kind of routed there when you have to do it. And then there was another bit where you had to pretend you were an office worker to infiltrate and get this disc that you had to get. And yeah, you had to pretend. That's fine. I was standing there and I had an inbox, and I picked a piece of paper from the inbox. You couldn't move, you were stuck there. And it had key presses on that you had to press, and then you put it into the outbox. And then you pick another one up and then put that in. I expected to do that, 3 or 4 times. No, I did a whole fucking load of them, and then it gave me another load. And then I did all of that, and then I thought, well, that's it. And then it said, "F*** off," like that was the top sheet. And there's another load. So I'm there 10 minutes doing that for nothing. That was supposed to be funny, like some kind of joke. and all the time you're doing it, the game's like saying, "I bet you didn't expect this." And it's like, well, I kind of did, because the game's so fucking devoid of anything decent in combat and content that, yeah, I suppose you're going to have to throw some shite like this in just to kind of route me to the spot, so that when it looks at me hours played, it's massive. I think that's probably why there's 4 fucking movies in the game, hoping that everybody watches the movie, so on the Steam profile it'll say hours played 21 or something, when essentially you can pretty much complete the game in 7. I mean, there's only 4 guns and 4 fucking bosses, and the world is so predictably put together. Do you know, it's a shame that as a comedy adventure that this is, it's so shallow and so, like, empty as a game. It's boring. There's no other word for it. It's just absolutely boring, unless you're a huge fan of the comedy style. I mean, I did mention, I think I mentioned Rick and Morty, and Rick and Morty's always been mentioned with this. It's because it's the same guy who does the voices. But I've never seen Rick and Morty, so I don't even know if that's any good or not. But what I do know is that if you don't like the comedy of this, and it's so linear, the comedy in this, it's all the same comedy all the way through. It's not like a big sort of comedic explosion of lots of different stuff and well thought out intelligent comedy. It's not. It's all the same stuff just thrown at you over and over and over again, and it just gets really mundane after a while. And the fact that your guns never shut up, you can turn them off, but they still talk. You can turn off enemies, but they still talk. I mean, I found hardly any difference when I turned the stuff off in the options. It's just sort of constantly hammering you with talking, and you'll come across NPCs that follow you around constantly with unfunny bullshit. It just, honestly, I was so happy when I got to a point where I thought, right, that's it. I've played enough. I've killed a few bosses, unlocked some weapons. I know the game now. I can review it. I was so pleased to it's been torture playing this. So what I'd say is that if you're a fan of this kind of comedy, buy it because you'll love it. It's all the way through from beginning to end. If you're not a fan of this comedy, don't bother going anywhere near this because as a game, there's all else here.